Hi, I'm John Burke. I'm the Executive Director of the Colorado High School Coaches Association, and we're honored and pleased to be partnering with CHSCA to further the cause of coaching education here in our state. I'd like to encourage all coaches to join the Coaches Association, and there are a number of reasons why. First of all, we are the only organization that represents all coaches of all sports in our state. Along with your membership comes a $1 million liability insurance policy, subscription to the Colorado Coach magazine, the eligibility to participate in the All-State Games as a participant and as a selectee. Also the chance to win longevity awards, achievement awards, and Hall of Fame recognition. We are the only Hall of Fame for all coaches of high school sports in this state. Have a great day. Good luck in the fields and arenas of competition, and join the Coaches Association.
Hi, I'm Dave Logan. I think when I look back at starting my career as a high school coach and try to think exactly as to what prompted that, I think about my dad, to tell you the truth. My dad was a Little League coach for the teams I played on in both football and basketball, and always believed in working with kids. If you could have the opportunity to give back and work with kids in some capacity, not necessarily just sports, but to involve yourself in the community and to work with kids, he was always a big believer of that. And so in '93, when I first started my coaching career, actually as a head coach with Arvada West, my dad had passed in January of that year. And I was contemplating as to really how I could honor kind of what he and I had talked about. My middle school football coach was a high school teacher and a coach at that time, and he was the impetus behind me actually applying for the Arvada West job. I think without his advice and without his sort of acknowledging that he thought I could do this, which was important to me, I don't think I ever would have done it. I wouldn't have had the nerve to do it. My parents were so involved with me in every facet of what I did, and I thought if I ever had the opportunity to work with kids in some capacity, not necessarily just sports, but in some capacity, I was pretty certain I would do that for as long as I could do it. And I think as coaches too, we have a responsibility. At times, we provide lip service in terms of, hey, we're supportive of multi-sport participation, but then we, in a subtle way, put pressure on either the athlete or the parents with our word in terms of, well, you know, that's okay if he goes to play, but we sure would like to have him out doing it. Listen, I think coaches, you get a time of the year, just like I'm old school in this regard, you get a time of the year to work with your athlete. And it's up to you to get that athlete prepared to play and ultimately, hopefully, put him in position that he can best succeed. So I'm again a big proponent of multi-sport participation. There are various reasons why I think we are seeing less of that, and I'd be in favor of doing whatever we could to increase those numbers.
I'm Sue Snyder, and I've been a coach at Simla High School. This will be my 30th year coming up. I've done junior high for 15 years in volleyball, basketball, track. Coached a few boys sports along the way, but predominantly I've coached volleyball. When we speak about safety, for sure for practices, I think that you have to evaluate your playing field or your court and make sure that the floor is clean and the field is set up, or whatever the case is, so that the athlete's safety comes first. So I think the main thing is to have an organized practice, starting with posting what's supposed to be done in practice and what you're going to try to accomplish that day, so that the student athletes can see it and visualize what their expectations are for that day. Naming drills so that they can go from one to the other and still be effective. Also, I think that we try really hard to take care of injuries properly. Coaches are probably the greatest role models in a kid's life that they have at that point in their life. And so I think that everything that we can do, we need to make sure that we're doing it in a way that those little eyes that are upon us are watching the right things. As far as Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, that reputation, the only reputation that you have is going to be out there on the web. And so always make it the most positive reputation and image that you possibly can. Basically, be positive, give more than you take, and be mindful about what you're doing. I think that kids like to be disciplined as long as they are encouraged. And Coach Markin told me that years and years ago, that kids will always live up to your expectations as long as you encourage them along the way.
Hi, I'm Dick Cotty, and I'm the former basketball coach at Denver Christian High School that I retired from coaching after spending 52 years as a high school coach. The success you have is not the result of one person. It's not how good I am. It has to have the ingredients of good players and a dedicated staff and a very supportive family. And when you blend that with maybe the passion and the energy of a coach, that then you can build a successful program. There are many other ways, I think, where a coach can broaden his horizons. I would want to say, though, that I don't think that a coach should try to be somebody else. He has to use the unique gifts that he has as he steps out and wants to become a coach. I would highly recommend that you do read about successful coaches. I'm going to tell you, I was highly influenced by John Wooden because I grew up in the era when he was so successful, and I thought that he was just a man that I would like to be like. Even though each of us must coach to our strengths, I think we can find mentors and models out there that can really help us. When you coach as long as I have to be careful that, people say, how did you last so long? And you think, well, every year I get a new team and I'm not going to coach this year's team like I did last year's team. There are some things that you shouldn't change, though. I have some things that I call Crusader trademarks, and that's what I want every team to see when they play my team. And I don't want that to be this year. I wanted that to be true 20 years ago. Things like defense, like sportsmanship, like intensity, and all those things. I think those you always want to have, but I think you have to stay in touch and change as the game has changed. And then I think one more thing you want to teach your athlete is be a good teammate. You have a group of girls that are good teammates, you'll have fun and you'll have a good team. So that would be my summary of what I've learned in my life as a coach.
Let's further the cause of education for coaches in this state. Join the Colorado High School Coaches Association and all the membership benefits it provides. Thank you very much.